As the world starts to reopen, as industries start to fire up again, change is on the way. The times, they are a-changing, and the world's largest fast food chain, McDonald's, making some changes in their restaurant, and they're making a change that really kind of broke free, I think, a repressed memory that I had, something that caused me a lot of angst in my teenage years. In today's episode of the Lido Loca Cruise Show, let's look at the changes that McDonald's making and see if it draws any parallels to what's going on in cruising. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Lido Loca Cruise Show. I'm your host, Tony. Thanks to the viewer who gave me that name yesterday. I kind of like it. It's going to stick. A good way to know that Tony is on the scene is basically unshaven, no haircut, and wearing old t-shirts that barely fit because he's put on a few pounds. That's me. I'm your host, Tony. If you enjoy that travel and cruise content, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these shows. Wouldn't you hate to miss out on these shows? They're having water cooler conversation. Nobody's at the water cooler. Move on, Tony. How about that? All right, let me tell you the story of my life as a teenager. When I was around 15 years old, my sweet dear mom, who realizes that I am super hyperactive and could somewhat be considered annoying at any age, said, "You're spending too much time in the house," and she said, "You need to get out and get a job." I was like, all right, I'll look for a job. She's like, better than that, I'm going to take you to the local Burger King and we're going to get you a job. And that's exactly what happened. We went down there, and with my social awkwardness, I was able to fill out an application, mumble my way through an interview, and boom, I had a job working the fry station at the local Burger King. And look, sometimes I'm considered to be an overachiever, so at 15, I started out as a crew member there at Burger King, and by the time I was 19, I was an assistant manager. That's right, in just 4 short years, I climbed the ladder there in the restaurant business. I even dropped out of school to do this assistant manager thing just because I was tired of going to school. Not high school. I graduated high school. I went to college for a year. And I tell you what, I was making about $6,000 a year as a crew member. This is back 1988. 89, $6,000 as a crew member. And they said, look, Tony, we know you're going to college, but there's no future in that. You can be a fast food restaurant manager right now, and we will pay you $14,000 a year. Look, I did some quick math. That was double money plus a few. And yeah, so I dropped out of college. It would be about 22 years before I eventually got my bachelor's degree. It seemed like a great decision at the time. But yes, I wanted to be an influencer. I wanted to do something in the fast food business, and that's where I was at 19 years old. Now, the real story that we're getting at here is when I started there at Burger King, when people came in and they ordered their Whopper meal, their double Whopper, first of all, they served the thing in a cardboard box, which that's not done anymore, and you couldn't get your own soda pop. So if you ordered the Whopper combo and you wanted a small Coca-Cola, somebody behind the counter had to make it for you. And it was a one serve only. There wasn't any multiple sodas per price. You just got the one soda that you paid for, no free refills. Easy peasy, other than having to make the drinks. I tell you what, trying to make drinks on a drive-through Saturday or a front counter Saturday, nightmare. But as things progressed, maybe right before I became a manager, we started putting in the beverage bar. And the beverage bar, this is really traumatic to me. I'm going to open up the kimono a little bit. I'm going to share my soul with you. The drink bar worked out in a few ways. It was wonderful because it cut down on the amount of time it took to get the food to the customer, so you could get more people through there quickly. And people were happy because they could get multiple servings of soda. And yeah, all was beautiful. But what we did notice in the beginning, and I'll tell you a little secret about fast food. French fries and soda pop are the highest profitable items. The food cost on a large soda was about 3 cents, and at the time we were charging maybe $1.20 for it. Extrapolate that today, you're paying like $2, $3 for a large soda, and there's still only about 4 or 5 cents worth of food cost and material cost in it. So the fast food company's making money hand over fist on the soda. But what we noticed straight away is that people would come in And a couple things where people would order large drinks before that were eating in the dining room, they would now order small drinks because they could just get refills. That made sense. But we also saw an influx, an increase in the amount of waters that were ordered previously. You started looking month over month at the data, and wow, the amount of people asking for water in the dining room has gone up since we put in the self-service drink bar. And so we started paying attention, and sure enough, you would give out water. And the water cups that we gave were the small cups, the small paper cups, the same thing we were putting soda in. And you notice people that were ordering water, they were starting to put soda in those cups. And so it was a problem, and the fast food higher-ups, the brain trust there, they tried to figure out how to solve the problem. There was a time where they stationed somebody at the drink bar just specifically to watch people, make sure they weren't taking soda. That was a little contentious. Why are you watching me make my soda? Yes, I ordered soda. I didn't order water. And then eventually they came up with the bright idea that we would use a translucent cup, a cup that you could see into for water, and it was about the size of a thimble. And so people that legitimately wanted a big old glass of water, they were stuck with these small plastic cups. The idea was to shame the person that was stealing drinks from the soda bar. And eventually, at 19 years old, I just realized I didn't care. The number of people that were taking soda was so insignificant to the amount of people that were using the soda bar legitimately, and it was a profit center for the fast food. But it was emotionally scarring because I remember I was one of those people that had to monitor the soda bar for a while. I had to get into conflict with people that were stealing soda. And as I look back on it all these years ago, it seemed like some of the dumbest time I spent in my life to argue with somebody who wanted to steal soda. And so that's a long story to get to the point that McDonald's, when they open up in this post-COVID world, they are going to be doing away, at least temporarily, with the soda bar. It took me back. It took me back almost 30 years. It took me back. I was shell-shocked. I believe it was a memory that I had repressed. But interestingly enough, I do believe this is going to be part of the new way the world looks going forward. Opportunities for self-service are going to be less and less. McDonald's, they will be doing a lot of things, including social distancing, more cleaning, and then removing self-service options. They even have self-service touchscreen kiosks in a lot of McDonald's, automating the process of ordering your fast food. The McDonald's, they have the option of leaving those on or turning those off, but it's a mandate now that if they leave those kiosks on, they have to be cleaned frequently. This is another touch point. And they talk about it, maybe it's not as much a health issue, but more of a perception issue. So interesting conversation coming out of McDonald's, what we perceive to be healthy and then what is actually healthy. Those two things are going to be playing out as a lot of businesses reopen. And I think that's going to be true for the cruise ships also. We continue to track this story that Royal Caribbean most likely will start cruising again without a traditional buffet. The higher ups at Royal Caribbean saying that they will be using the space in the Windjammer to seat people, but no traditional buffet, possibly a restaurant. I don't know what that's going to look like. The thing I keep envisioning, and this is what I think all the cruise lines could do when it comes to the buffet, everybody likes that option of being able to go and get something quick to eat, something just grab it and go. I do think that that's how the cruise lines could utilize the buffet. It will be a little more work. It probably will be a little more material, but I could imagine them packaging up a plate with a hamburger on it or packaging up a plate with a portion of spaghetti. Instead of having that food in tubs that need to be served, they could almost do it cafeteria style where everything is already pre-plated and then they hand you the plate from behind the counter. I think it's going to be a challenge if they're going to do it restaurant style where they're going to have a menu and servers, those kind of things. I think you're going to really crush the ability to quickly go get something to eat and move on. You can do it with a limited menu, but the buffet is often one of those things that is touted by people who like to cruise as a place where you can go get a variety of things. And so it's going to be a hard balance, I think, for the cruise line. Again, I think the cruise lines are going to do anything possible to get open back up. They are beholden to the government officials, to the CDC, that's either going to extend or lift the no-sell order. And so I imagine whatever rules, regulations that are put in front of them, they'll be like, yes, we will comply. Can we please open up again? And diehard cruisers will get on cruise ships and they will adjust to the new normal. They'll be vocal about it. They won't like it. They might complain about it. But at the end of the day, who doesn't want to just walk that gangway and get the ocean breeze in your face as you're in the middle of the sea where you can't see anything around you, where you're just communing with the sea on the big floating hotel? It's I think people are ready to get back to cruising, and they will adjust. It might, again, might be cranky about the adjustments. They might be complaining about the adjustments. I think people will get on cruise ships, buffet or no buffet. It's funny in life, the things that trigger those memories. I really hadn't thought about working at Burger King for a long time, but it was a big deal when we got that self-service drink machine. For the comments today, do I have any fellow brothers and sisters in arms when it comes to fast food? What fast food restaurant did you work for? Did you just work as a crew? Did you climb the ranks? Fast food management, man, it's a crazy thing where they work you really hard. They don't pay you much, and it's really a thankless job. But I appreciate the time that I had doing that job. It taught me a lot about how to deal with people, and not only people that worked with you, for you, but also dealing with the public. And so my hat's off to everybody that is doing the fast food grind, getting it done, making the food that people love to go and get on the quick. Leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching the show today. This is Tony coming to you live from the bunker. Show your support for the show by hitting the like button. And until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.